Hello, Kirsty Lane here. This is day 20 of intermittent fasting and the Bulletproof Diet. I did a 14-hour fast today, no trouble at all whatsoever, just easy peasy. So I'm going to try and step it up a bit this week, get to some 16-hour fasts. I have made some bone broth. Yeah, it's amazing how we go back to doing what our ancestors did. And ancestors used to boil up the bones of animals and just make a broth with them, just to use every last bit of it, basically. And it's fantastic for your health. Number one, it can heal your gut. So if you have any gut issues, then bone broth is fantastic. Number two is that it builds a lot of collagen in your body. So there's a lot of collagen, which collagen is basically 80% of your skin is made up of collagen. So it's what binds things together in your body. And the more collagen you have, the better. I take some collagen powder, which is very expensive, and bone broth is so cheap. I think we bought the bones for about £1 or something in the butcher's. Ask for organic grass-fed bones if they've got any, great. If not, you can still make it, but you can use the fat and everything that comes off it, that you scrape off the top. You can use it for your cooking. So it's very, very economic. So you're gaining money basically, because if the bones only cost you £1, then you scrape off all the fat from the top and use it in your cooking, and you don't have to pay for that. So you're gaining money. It is a bit of a mess to cook. I've used about 5 different pots, I think, but I'm sure next time it's going to be far less messy when I figure out how to do it. The best way to strain it, etc. I'm going to put the link to the bulletproof recipe that I used. It was a little bit bland, so I'm hoping of finding a way to maybe spice it up a bit or make it a bit more tasty. Basically, you just fry up some carrots and some, what else did I put in there? Carrots and celery. And then you fry it up in some butter, and then you add the bones and water and some herbs and just boil it all day and night basically, and then just turn it off before you go to bed. It's really good for other things as well. I've been reading it can even, the bits and pieces in there can help you to sleep, maybe boost your immune system. I'll also put a link to an article that tells you all about the amazing benefits of bone broth. So also, if you drink it when you are fasting, it doesn't take you out of the fasting zone. It still keeps you in autophagy. That's why it's big in fasting circles. So this week I'm going to try to have some yummy bone broth for breakfast and see how that goes down, because it's like a soup, but a thin soup basically, and it feels like it's quite fatty, so it feels like it might fill you up and your body thinks you're drinking soup. So the idea is that you drink that and you don't eat any food. Okay, so yeah, looking forward to this week. Going to push up my hours a bit, and just really happy with this fasting thing. I really like it. I mean, on the keto diet I was doing before, it was hard work, and I was glad to finish it at the end. I was glad that I did it because I felt really good. I learned a lot about the sugar content of different foods, and I learned a lot about my blood sugar, and I just learned all about how my energy differs depending on how much, what kind of foods I ate. So if I ate a heavy carbohydrate meal for lunchtime, then I would be really sleepy in the afternoon, for example. So it taught me a lot about that, but I wouldn't want to do it again, really. It was quite hard work. It's quite restrictive. Whereas intermittent fasting just feels so natural. It feels like my body is just thriving off it, and that's what we want. We're trialing all of these different methods to see what works for you. Some people do keto and they feel the same. They just feel like they have so much more energy than normal. Exactly the same process for this intermittent fasting thing. First week I felt horrible in keto and fasting. First week I felt awful, but after that it just felt good. on keto and doing this fasting, and the Bulletproof Diet is quite restrictive and it's a lot to get your head around, but you can just take it a step at a time. And Dave says, you can have pancakes once in a while, as long as they're gluten-free. You can have this if you want every once in a while, but whatever you do, just pay attention to how your body reacts to it, okay? Because you might be able to tolerate white potatoes and someone else might not be able to. So just keep an eye on what you're doing. All right. So what are we grateful for today? Today we are grateful. We express our gratitude because happier people tend to be more grateful, and our emotions really tie into what we eat. The happier we are, the more likely we are to make positive health choices for ourselves and for our family. So by cultivating a positive attitude, healthy positive attitude and happy attitude, then it inadvertently affects what we put in our mouths. Okay, so gratitude. I am grateful today for green spaces. There's a lovely big park near where I live and a river and a little lake and everything, and it's just so nice to get out of the house and go for a little walk or run around green spaces. So I feel very grateful to the local authorities for keeping it and not just building a big housing estate on it or something. So I'm very grateful for the green spaces. What are you grateful for? Like and subscribe.